Sorry about that. Okay, part 2. So, yes, as I was saying, you can do something history related. You might want to take a look at the historical evidence and create a hypothesis of your own and do a bit of research. All these things are very, very possible. In terms of the next 2 types, generally, so career related. So maybe you want to be a travel agent, maybe you want to make surfboards, maybe you want to start a business, maybe you want to make design a cafe. Again, when you're looking at something to do with a career orientation, things that you need to really consider are the training and knowledge required. So these are the things that you would actually research. Work availability and or options. Are there any historical aspects that need to be taken into account? Tools, equipment involved, improvements or advancements in the career, and why would you become, so for example, maybe a police officer, or I had a student do theirs on this last year, which was specifically looking at how he could become a soccer coach. So a lot of his stuff was around finding where the best academia side is, so where he could actually go to study to be a coach. And unfortunately for him, what kind of came about was that Australia didn't really offer that much, so he was looking at having to move abroad to attain the accreditation necessary. So lastly, the final topic is social issues and so also social inquiry. So again, it could be things like the Mexican Wall. You could do Donald Trump, you could do American politics and the impact that has. You could even do COVID, you could do anti-vaxxers, you could do, there's so many things, it kind of hurts your head a little bit. Okay, so you can look at teenage depression, body image issues, social media, all those different things. Keep in mind when you're picking those kind of things, a lot of them have been done before, so what we really want to do is find, I suppose, like a little a way into those topics that are going to be still quite interesting. Other things you need to talk about when you're researching it is, so what is actually involved in that particular topic, why it's come about, who's involved, attitudes of different people, and the consequences of these particular things. So it might be, if you're talking about the Mexican Wall, what are the consequences of building that wall, and all those types of things. So there's lots of different things you can talk about there. So they're the kind of 4 topic types to think about. So for the next, or until this is complete, it might not take you 20 to 30 minutes, I have prepared, I've given you, I'm going to show you some links here so you can kind of organise your ideas a little bit more coherently and in a visual form, if you do not just want to type it in Word. So the expectation is that you're going to have, I'm going to ask for a minimum of 5 topics that you've decided on. So it could be gaming, it could be science fiction, it could be astrology, it could be cooking, it could be starting your own business. Okay, so think of 5 things that you would actually be interested in. And then, as I said, if you don't want to work it in Word, I'll show you the next couple. So what I would like you to do, so if you look at this one's actually done by the SACE board. So it goes, what interests me, and then it talks about environmental issues, flooding, impact on people, flooding management strategies, and all these different things, which is great as a starting point. But what I would like to get to is where you're actually kind of drawing out. So you've got the overarching, I suppose, topic, and then I want to know specifically under those topics the things that interest you, or the things that you know about that you're interested in knowing about. So, for example, so this one was made in bubble.us, which is just a brainstorming technique, really simple to use, and it's a bit free. So I'm just going to get you to focus in on the one that says Star Wars. So I've gone science fiction, and then I've gone, okay, so well, in science fiction, I'm really passionate about Star Wars, Star Trek, Firefly, and Farscape. One of the common themes in there that I really adore is that they have these really, really strong female characters. So from that, I can actually, just by doing those 3 dot points, I can already come up with about 3 to 4 different versions of questions that I could ask myself that could be potential research project questions. Another one that I've done here, which is, so I have a personal interest in science and astrophysics, so things that interest me. So I have an interest in dark matter. I also have an interest in planets, and I also have an interest in the universe. So under dark matter, it could be, we might want to look at the creation of the Adelaide Space Agency, and therefore I could look at pathway opportunities. If I wanted to redo if I wanted to, quit teaching and become, work in space and science, or work for NASA. Otherwise, I could look at planets. So something that interests me is the formation of planets. Also, the classification of planets is really fascinating. I basically just feel really sorry for Pluto. And in terms of the universe, I might want to look at specifically stars or black holes. And you can all Google at my beautiful spelling error there, but that's fine. So we're wanting to I've got the yellow is like my overarching interest, and then I've as you can see, I've broadened that out a bit more. Another one you can use is Miro. You do have to create an account for this one, but this one is quite elegant in the way it's set out, and again, super easy to use. So you would have, like where it says subtitle, you would put your topic, and then in all your sticky notes, you would start putting the topics and the other ideas that surround that. So it might be Black Lives Matter, and then you want to specifically talk about, so you want an Australian focus to Black Lives Matter. So under that, you would want to look at our horrible history, I might point out, in regards to the how we treat Indigenous Australians. And you could also look at deaths in custody and how the Black Lives Matter movement actually really launched quite a massive inquiry into that, and how in any given prison we have a much higher rate of people of Indigenous heritage in prison, and also all the other issues that go with that when you're talking about intergenerational trauma that has been created. So there's a lot in there that you can do and a lot you can unpack. So expectation for this particular lecture, so this is lesson 1, is that you create this mind map. Again, I would like a minimum of 5 topics, and again, really filling out those ideas on what they could potentially cover. And then I would also like the exit slip questions. So I would like to know what you understand research practices to be. What are you hoping to gain? And then if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to ask in this exit slip question and send them through. So that's the completion of the lesson 1. I apologise for having about the part 1 and part 2, but my recording got interrupted. Okay, I will catch you for lesson 2 shortly.